Hello everyone and welcome to the next episode of the most interesting urban development news from around the world. Today is the 20th Jubilee News episode and I congratulate all of us on that. And by the way, I'd like to thank to all my amazing Patreon supporters. And let's start today with some not so positive news. In one of the previous episodes, I have talked about the referendum in Regensburg, which was supposed to decide whether the city would build a tram system. And the majority of those who voted, namely 54%, said no. The city mayor has already commented on this with the words, "We have lost a historic opportunity." The tram's opponents criticized it for its high construction costs, which were expected to reach up to 1.2 billion euros, although most of this amount was to be financed by federal and state subsidies. The city mayor has already announced that the city will now expand its bus network, as opponents of the tram had actually demanded. However, according to the mayor, if the city continues to grow and public transportation use increases, the bus network may soon reach its capacity limit, and I wonder what they will do then. But at the same time, the residents of Erlangen and their referendum supported the idea of extending one of the Nuremberg tram lines to their city, and the length of this intercity line should be 26 kilometers. The Turkish construction company Yapı Merkezi has completed digging of 6-kilometer Bika tunnel, which is a part of the new Divača-Koper railway line and is the third longest in Slovenia. In total, there are 10 tunnels to be built with a total length of 37 kilometers. Alstom is to deliver 12 Flexity trams to Verkehrsbetrieb Zurich in addition to the company's initial order of 70 units. The city of Zurich is now gradually replacing the old generation of Tram 2000 wagons with the Flexity trams and continues to expand its tram network. At the same time, they are gradually transferring the Tram 2000 wagons that have been taken out of use to the Ukrainian city of Vinnytsia. By the way, I have a separate video about it on my channel. Alstom plans to complete the initial order for 70 trams by early 2025, with all additional units expected to be delivered by spring 2028. The next news is once again about Alstom, but this time in Berlin. In 2020, BVG placed an order for the supply of 117 new two-way trams with a Bombardier transportation, which about a month later, in January 2021, became a part of Alstom Group. And now the first new Flexity tram has been running on the manufacturer's test track in Bautzen, Saxony. The first wagon is expected to be delivered to Berlin this summer. It is the longest tram ever built for Berlin. The new 9-section 100% low-floor Flexity is 50 meters long and is designed to replace the coupled GT6 trams on the high-demand M4 line. It was originally planned to deliver 82 5-section 30-meter wagons and 35 9-section 50-meter ones. And now there are rumors that BVG is considering to convert the order for the 30-meter trams into 41 60-meter trams. However, this step hasn't been yet confirmed. Meanwhile, Skoda has delivered the first new tram to the German city of Cottbus. In total, the Czech manufacturer is to build 22 trams that will gradually replace the old Tatra wagons built in the 1980s. The new 4-City Plus trams are 20 centimeters wider than the old ones and at 29 meters long can carry up to 158 passengers. They are 70% low floor and 4 out of 6 doors are accessible. The German city of Stuttgart has announced plans to complete the Stuttgart 21 mega project with a test operation to begin at the end of 2025 and the official opening scheduled for December 2026. Stuttgart 21 is a project of rebuilding the central railway station in Stuttgart, which started construction in 2010, and the total budget has already exceeded 9 billion euros. Its scope is absolutely enormous, and the main idea is to turn a dead-end station into a pass-through underground station, turning the tracks 90 degrees from its original position. Of course, such a large-scale project was followed by a stream of criticism, scandals and protests caused, for example, by the plans to cut down centuries-old trees in the park next to the station. During one of these protests in 2009, about 50,000 residents went out onto the streets, and as a result, the police brutally dispersed the protesters with water cannons. And now the project is finally coming to an end, and I really hope that it will eventually benefit the city. In Switzerland, the Rhaetian Railway celebrated the official opening of the new Elbola tunnel. The new, nearly 6-kilometer tunnel was built over 10 years, parallel to the existing old one, and connected to it by 12 cross connections. The total cost of the project is 420 million euros, and once the new tunnel is operating, the old one will be converted into a safety tunnel. The old Elbola tunnel between the cities of Prida and Spinas was opened in 1903 and now is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. An assessment of its condition in 2006 revealed a serious need for reconstruction, as more than a half of the almost 6-kilometer tunnel pipe was in poor condition and needed to be renovated. After considering all the pros and cons, Rhaetian Railway decided not to repair the old tunnel but to build a new one in parallel. The key arguments for this were the relatively small difference in cost, the almost total absence of restrictions related to the traffic schedule during the construction phase, and the much higher level of safety in the new tunnel. The Romanian Railways Reform Authority has finally signed a contract with Polish manufacturer PESA for the supply of 20 three-wagon interregional trains for use on lines across Romania. The order was originally placed in September 2023, but Alstom challenged the decision in court, and as a result, after a series of court cases, the Polish manufacturer was awarded the contract. The total budget is $240 million, 74% of which is the cost of the trains themselves, and the rest is the price of maintenance. The trains should be similar to those received by Czech operator RegioJet, and notably, these trains will be the first such upgrade of the Romanian railway in 20 years. The Swiss Federal Railways has announced a public tender for the purchase of 116 new double-decker electric trains for use on the Zurich railways and in French-speaking Switzerland. 95 of the new trains will replace the first-generation double-decker fleet at Zurich railways, and the rest will go to the Lausanne region. The new trains should be 150 meters long compared to 100 meters for the current DPZ fleet. They should have 500 seats each, and during peak hours, when two trains run coupled, more than 1,000 seats will be available on the S-Bahn. The trains also should be low-floor, have multifunctional areas for passengers traveling short distances, 2 toilets, one of which will be wheelchair accessible, and special spaces for bicycles, luggage and strollers. Potential suppliers have time until the early 2025 to submit their bids. The winner will be announced by the end of next year, and the trains are expected to enter service in the 2030s. So if you happen to be a train manufacturer, you should try, I guess. And if you win, you owe me a subscription to my Patreon. And finally, a couple more news from Latin America. The Argentine city of Mendoza has received the next batch of used Siemens trams from San Diego, USA. These wagons will allow the extension of the Metro Tranvia line from Godoy Cruz to Luján de Cuyo and from Las Heras to the airport. By the way, I have a separate video on my channel about the Mendoza tram, which I think is very interesting but has gained undeservedly few views, so I encourage you to watch it after this one. And in Montevideo, the capital of Uruguay, they have launched 20 new battery buses manufactured by the Chinese company Yutong. This brings the total number of electric buses in Montevideo to 51 units. According to the city mayor, this has already improved air quality in the central areas. And this is a part of Montevideo's strategic plan to become a carbon neutral by 2040. And that's all the news for this week. Thanks for watching and see you next time.